All right, to begin, could you please tell us your name and provide some background information as to what situation or problem led you to seek legal assistance?
My name is Steve, and I contacted Mr. Bailey and his firm specifically because I was living in an apartment building, a brownstone, that was going to be sold, and I was told that basically I had no choice but to leave at the end of my lease. And I wanted to find out if that was correct or not, or what my legal standing was.
How did you initially find Adam Leitman Bailey PC?
Through word of mouth. Friends who are lawyers recommended Mr. Bailey as being a good, strong firm.
Okay. Was there anything notable about the firm's strategy that you believe was integral to the success?
Anything notable about the firm's strategy?
Like, were they creative? Were they, did they do something out of the ordinary that you wouldn't think a lawyer would do normally?
I think that Mr. Bailey and the rest of his firm, his associates and other partners, worked very hard to work with the evidence that I provided to them in order to strengthen that evidence and use it to the best of whatever we had there to come up with a strong case and a strong position.
Okay. I understand we reached a settlement. Could you please tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. The apartment that I was living in was basically, it was in a brownstone, and it represented about 10% of the rentable space in the brownstone. And the settlement we got, which was $650,000, represented more than 10% of the sale price of the building. So I was more than happy with the settlement and thought it was a great job done by the firm and all the people involved.
What was your initial, I know you just briefly touched on it, but what was your initial reaction, or how did you feel when you first heard about the settlement?
When I first heard about the settlement, well, we had been in ongoing negotiations, so it had been nip and tuck, shall we say, or who was bluffing who or who was going to give in. So when I finally heard that we had agreed on the number, it was I was real happy, obviously, quite happy. Since the settlement exceeded what my hope was, real happy.
Okay. And what adjectives would you use to describe the firm to potential future clients?
I would say dependable, competent, more than competent, fair, willing to work with their clients, because we had different times when I wasn't as knowledgeable as maybe I should be or didn't know certain things, and they worked with me to explain tactics, to work on tactics, to figure out what we were going to do and how we were going to proceed, and work together to come out with a great result.
Okay. If you had to sum up your whole experience in just a few words or wanted to add anything else, what would you say to Mr. Bailey and the firm?
I would say thank you very much. The outcome, the settlement, exceeded my hope, and I look forward to the first night living in my own apartment without fully paid for and without any mortgage payments or anything. Soon after engaging Mr. Bailey, it became apparent to me that the situation I was in could end up being a very positive one for me. It could result in a very positive ending, but I didn't even really want to let myself dream about that ending because it was so far ahead in the future and seemed to me unattainable. But Mr. Bailey made that dream come true for me. He worked hard, and everyone at the firm worked hard to make that dream a reality, and today it is a reality, and I can move ahead saying that he did a great job for me. After reviewing the circumstances of our situation and the case we had, it was key. The information and advice Mr. Bailey gave us on things we should do, getting letters of appreciation or value, what a good tenant I was, other things were key in setting up the basis by which our case could move ahead and preventing the other side from making allegations that were unfounded. So Mr. Bailey's advice, to put it bluntly, from the time we engaged him on, was all spot on and enhanced our case.